I can't let another video go by without addressing one of the not so great parts of Charleston. By far the #1 comment I got on my pros and cons video of Charleston was to add the con of traffic, so I am making a whole video on it. Traffic in Charleston has gotten much worse over the past few years. I will say that when I talk to some people from major cities like Miami, LA, and New York, they say the traffic here is still nothing like it was there, so it's all relative. Being from Charlotte, North Carolina myself, I didn't notice the traffic here much when we first moved in 2015, since back then Charlotte had worse traffic at the time. However, every year that I'm here, it seems to just get worse and worse, and it makes sense when you think about how many people have relocated here. For the past decade, we've had about 33 people move here per day, equating to over 120,000 new residents. And that number is not slowing down as more and more people are moving to coastal cities in the US. The problem with Charleston being a coastal city is that everything is connected by bridges. As you can imagine, bridges are not easily expanded, as they require major planning and engineering, and already cost hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars to install, like the new Ravenel Bridge costing $675 million to complete. Since we have way more people traveling these same bridges, now if there's any kind of fender bender or even a minor car breakdown, it will turn the highway or bridge into a parking lot. One time I was stuck on a bridge and looked over to see dolphins, so that made traffic a little more tolerable, but it's still not fun. The traffic is a pervasive problem throughout the greater Charleston area, from Mount Pleasant to downtown Charleston, North Charleston to Somerville and beyond. The islands like James Island and Johns Island get especially backed up when one of the few entrances get blocked for any reason. The James Island drawbridge has to open to let tall boats pass through, so it's always a risk that you'll get stuck there. We got the front row seat to that recently, lucky us. The Ben Sawyer Bridge on Sullivan's Island can have the same problem. A few years ago, it even got stuck open for hours on Memorial Weekend, but that was the only time it's happened. According to this study, Charleston is up there as one of the worst cities for traffic, with an average commute time of 25.6 minutes each way. Of course, your commute will change depending on where you work and what time you go to work, but if you have to drive pretty much anywhere here during rush hour, you're looking at a longer commute. I always recommend to clients that we look at houses between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. if possible to avoid the morning and evening rush hour traffic, which is around 7 to 9 a.m. and 4 to 6 p.m. Lately, I've noticed that 4 p.m. seems to be worse than 6 p.m. as it's a combination of schools letting out and work commutes. These areas are usually where traffic is the worst, so you'll see that 526 is a major part of that, since that's how most people get to and from work. North Charleston tends to have some of the worst traffic as it has a lot of residential neighborhoods next to major industries like Boeing, the Charleston Airport, and Joint Base Charleston. Somerville is another area that used to be a small quaint town with no traffic, but now its growing popularity and new construction rates have caused traffic to be a real problem. South Carolina already ranks low for its roads compared to other states. The traffic does not help the issue. If any road work is needed, like when 526 needed emergency repairs a few years back, it only adds to the growing issue and could turn a 20-minute commute into an hour easy. I also wanted to touch on traffic fatalities. Unfortunately, South Carolina is the second most dangerous state for driving based on a study done by Forbes. This report showed that South Carolina and Colorado experienced the most fatalities due to excessive speed than any place else in the US. We have had some tragic incidents lately that absolutely should have been avoided due to impaired driving and speeding. One thing you'll notice while driving on the highways around Charleston is that they show the amount of traffic deaths that have occurred this year in the state. This is to hopefully reduce the amount of traffic fatalities, but it is heartbreaking to watch the number climb almost every day. I hope it at least reminds people to slow down, put the phone down, don't drink and drive, and concentrate on the road. The locals who have been here their whole lives say driving around Charleston used to be a completely different experience. People used to drive slow and be friendly to fellow drivers on the road, but now it seems like everyone is a hurry, taking away some of the charm and character of Charleston. Another part of the traffic issue is the seasonal tourist traffic. We have two periods of more visitors, one between March and May and another between September and November, although people do visit Charleston year-round. During these times, there are more festivals and big events as the weather is milder than in the hot summer, so these festivals also add to the traffic delays. During the summer, my husband and I don't even try to go to the beach on the weekends, especially Saturdays. The roads onto the beach islands get backed up so far, and then dealing with parking is such a pain. So we like to try going during the weekdays if possible. So we know traffic in Charleston is a problem, but is there anything we can do about it? Many projects have been proposed and are in the works throughout the greater Charleston area, but it doesn't change the fact that the rate of growth for Charleston has outpaced the infrastructure. The 526 extension, for example, has been proposed and talked about for decades. Actually, it was first presented 42 years ago, but nothing has been done about it until recently, when $75 million was approved by Charleston City Council to go toward the project. This extension would extend the 526 highway from West Ashley through Johns Island and onto James Island, with the idea that it would reduce traffic congestion, increase economic development, and improve safety and connectivity. However, this extension has been surrounded by a lot of controversy for a few reasons. First, the updated cost for completion is an estimated $2.2 billion, way more than the transportation budget, and many are upset because the original quote was only in the tens of millions. People also worry about the environmental impact, as it would cut through acres of coastal wetlands and change the character of Johns Island from a naturally beautiful rural place to even more traffic and development. It would also affect homes in West Ashley, Johns, and James Island, making people either relocate or have the new highway back up to their house. There is more to this 526 extension, but with 20 years of both sides being argued, I'll leave it at that for this video. So, Charleston's roads and infrastructure are lacking, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. In the past few years, tens of thousands of homes have been built in the area, and builders still can't keep up. Yet the infrastructure hasn't been planned very well to keep up with the rate of growth. There have been some expansions and new projects, but those aren't going to fix the major issue of traffic in Charleston. Now, I love Charleston, I really do, but I did want to disclose this issue so you aren't taken by surprise when you come to visit or relocate here. My advice is to avoid high traffic days like holidays, rush hour, and popular roadways around tourist attractions. Also, be sure to use a navigation app so you don't get lost. Even if I know where I'm going, I'll check the routes on my phone to see which one has the least traffic. Charleston will continue to be a popular location as more and more people are moving and vacationing here. So the traffic problem unfortunately won't be going away anytime soon. What do you think? Have you experienced the traffic in Charleston? How does it compare to other places you've been? Comment your thoughts below, and thanks for watching.